Okay, on that note, let us switch to our second topic, a little less gloom and doom.
A little bit more nerd.
Well, nerd, gamer, I don't really think they're that compatible. Basically, for anyone who is into video games, or has been playing it, who has played a console within the last couple
or who
weeks,
has a 360 and or PS3,
or
even PC, yeah,
PC, will have most likely
either heard of or tried for
out
yourself the Battlefield 3 beta. Now,
oh my goodness, that was crazy.
I don't really know. Yeah, I kind of know what his preferences on it are, but he's a lot more critical than me. I'm the one who has it pre-ordered and who has been looking forward to this title.
Let me just interrupt you. I'm more critical because I come from, the only Battlefield game I've ever played is Bad Company 2.
Me too.
And I had not a terrible time, but a really rough time playing it. Really rough. Like, I was not even interested. I was a COD head, man. COD, I was all into Call of Duty. I was like, I don't want to play Battlefield.
Bad Company 2, I had Bad Company 2 and Modern Warfare 2 at the same time. I started with Modern Warfare 2. That was actually my first COD game. I didn't start with Modern Warfare or 3 or 2. I started in the COD community with Modern Warfare 2. And after a while, I got sick and tired of it. Everyone using the same weapons, getting, stupid bogus kills and all this stuff. So then, Battlefield Bad Company 2 was out, and I was like, you know what? Let's switch it up for a little bit. And I bought this game, and I played through the campaign, and it just it was like a complete 360 from the way Modern Warfare 2 felt. It, just the way you walk, the way you run, the way you reload the weapon, the way you aim down the sight, the way you shoot, the way everything sounds, it just clicked with me, and it was like, wow, this game is a whole lot more realistic, real, and down to earth than Modern Warfare 2 is. So I got into it, and I started playing online, and it was just something that I couldn't put down. It was one of the games that, when you do an online match, there's usually a waiting period between match 1 and match 2, and during the waiting period I didn't want to leave, so I stayed for the next match and just kept going, and I got hooked.
Okay, well, the reason why I'm critical is because I had a bad experience with Battlefield Bad Company 2. I felt the controls were clunky. This is on the 360, by the way. The controls were clunky. I didn't really like just the general movement of the characters, and I could not use the knife for the life of me. It was so stupid.
Knife did suck pretty bad.
Sucky, man.
And also the fact how when you're sprinting, you can't.
Right, you can't strafe at all. There's no strafing. You can't move left or right.
Turning.
It's straight.
Yeah.
Or you got to stop and turn and pivot.
That was something that I did.
It's very clunky. I didn't like it. So I didn't pre-order Battlefield 3 when it was announced that you could, and I didn't plan on getting it. But then I heard that there was going to be an open Battlefield 3 beta, and then this guy said, hey, did you go get it? And then I said, no, let me get it. Because, honestly, I got bored of Black Ops. So
I got tired of Black Ops way before he did. That's why I was so excited for this Battlefield to come.
Wait, I got bored of Black Ops before you did, but I found a way to get myself back into it. Then you got bored of it, and then I started to decline again. So
I can't stand Black Ops, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a little meh. But anyway,
it's pretty much died.
So I didn't get Battlefield 3, but when the beta came out, I totally got it because I'm like, it's a free experience, who cares? So let's talk about that. How did the Battlefield 3 beta go for you? What did you play it on? How did you experience it? Did you play it on PS3 and 360? Were there any major differences?
Originally I got it for the PS3 because stuff was going all bad with my Xbox Live, non-payment issues and stuff, so free. It was a little glitchy, but of course, because it's a beta. And
there was talk that it was just the alpha version that they released. It wasn't even a beta. It was just alpha, so they didn't even fix any of the bug problems that the testers found pre-beta release.
Oh dear, so what we were playing was pretty
alpha. It was garbage, it was trash. It was color schemes on top of polygons.
Yeah, in terms of differences between consoles, I didn't really notice any. Graphics engine was pretty much the same. Frames per second was surprisingly pretty much the same. There was no weird, the only reason why I don't play FPSs on the PS3 is because the analog sticks just don't work for my thumbs. So I got it for the 360, and it's good. If you've played Bad Company 2, it's really one of those games that could either make or break the franchise for you. It's either, Bad Company 2 was, the best game, and then this is the worst game, or this is a major improvement. It's really up to you. I thought it was a complete improvement on Bad Company 2. There's a lot of things in there that improve upon it. There's actually a strafe now. You can
strafe.
You can strafe. There's also they upgraded the what is it? The graphics engine, right?
I don't think there was that much of a graphic engine boost.
No, because it was Frostbite, and then they went to Frostbite 2.
Are you sure it wasn't Frostbite 2 before?
No, I'm sure, because that's one of the pluses. And it just looks gorgeous, feels gorgeous. The way the gun feels, shoots, sounds, it's incredible. They've added you can toggle your firing mode on most guns.
I didn't lock in on how to do that.
It was down on the...
You gotta be kidding. R3?
No, down on the D-pad. D-pad. Yeah, and most guns you could go from full auto to semi.
Great.
And
I totally missed out on that opportunity to try that out. Did they have that in Bad Company too?
No, they didn't. That was something that they added.
Man, that would have been nice to know.
Anyway, I told you about it, and
no,
you just
didn't.
never. I did online. I swear I told you and Killjoy about it. I did.
I swear you didn't.
He just doesn't listen to me when we're gaming.
I don't, but that's besides the point.
But yeah,
you didn't say it.
It's just, I think there are high hopes and expectancies, and this game's going to be just going to be completely amazing, and it's going to blow anything else out of the water.
Okay, that's your view. All right, time for me. Quick, cut, clean. What I hate, what I like. What I like the visuals. I actually really honed in on the sniping. Coming from Modern Warfare 2 during the Bad Company 2 deal, I didn't like the sniping because I had been COD-bred to where the crosshairs is. That's where you shoot. Right there where it hits the center, you want to hit it right in the sweet spot.
And also the sway from Bad Company 2 to Modern Warfare 2.
He keeps saying sway. I didn't see any sway.
No, in Bad Company 2 there wasn't any. But in Battlefield, in number 3, there is some sway.
Well, I don't know. I didn't really care. But the thing that I didn't like going into the Battlefield series was the drop off, which is realistic, and it is what happens over time. The bullet will dip down, and so you have to aim higher the further out your target is. I actually really honed in on it. And
in 3?
In 3, and I'm in the beta, and man, I excelled at it, dude. It was so much fun. It was much more satisfying sniping than in Black Ops, in Modern Warfare 2, or even COD 4, which I didn't play too much of anyway. It was the best sniping I have ever played.
In an FPS?
In an FPS. And this is a beta, so if they can somehow make that better, or at least not screw it up.
I remember
that's going to be epic in the game.
In Battlefield 2, you were really frustrated at the sniping because they didn't have on the scope, they didn't have, did they have that in...
No, they don't, no, they don't. They don't. I don't understand why. Why can't you put that in?
So that's still frustrating?
It's still frustrating. I don't know how far out my target is. I have to experiment. And I have to be lucky enough to where when I fire, I move the reticle over so I can see that magnesium flare as it drops off, so I can range how far my target is. Why can't... Snipers don't run solo. Snipers run with a spotter who will have some kind of personal defense weapon like an SMG or at least a pistol, and they'll be running around with a telescope telling the distance of the target and telling the sniper how to correct. You don't have that in Battlefield. Heck, 9 times out of 10 you won't even have any teammate that has a mic online.
Yeah.
You're going to be completely...
For PS3 especially.
You're going to be completely SOL, and you're going to be on your own. It's messed up. I don't understand why they can't have it on the reticules where the little dots are, distance, and in the bottom left hand corner or bottom right hand corner, because most people are right handed, you can have the distance of where the center reticule is at. So that way you can target it, lift up according to where the distance is, fire, and actually be able to be more accurate. The guns are already precise. You just need to be able to make it so the guns are more accurate.
Although
in that
they're
sense.
with all the other guns, we're talking. I'm going to go over to fully automatic, SMGs and stuff.
It was all garbage for me.
All of them?
All of them. I didn't really like it.
Assault rifles, LMGs. Well, that's because there's a lot more recoil. It's way more realistic recoil.
Really
it's not you're shooting like this. It's you're actually you really have to burst fire.
You have to burst fire.
Or semi-auto, or you're not gonna shoot anything.
What I didn't like is if you don't have a scope, you're screwed. If you have a scope, you're screwed because you can't see the target. You can't
Wait,
see
for
the target.
SMGs and stuff?
SMGs, assault rifles, LMGs, it's all the same.
I wasn't using scopes, and I was going just fine.
You have no zooms with iron sights, and when you have a scope on, it's so stifling. You could only see in the very right where the spread will be downrange, and then you have that little stupid ACOG laser sight upside down V thing,
And
which gets in
also,
your way, and it lifts so weird.
Yeah. Also, when you have a scope, you have to really burst fire, or else you're going way up here.
I didn't like it.
There was one thing about the sniper rifles that actually the ability to take off the scope. To where it's just a regular semi-automatic rifle.
That was really interesting.
I took
iron sights.
I couldn't snipe with the scope zoomed in. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get a kill. People were moving, unpredictable.
You couldn't have an ACOG or a PSG scope or
no. I couldn't, and I couldn't get a kill. I would get one kill every now and then.
So you'd run around with the sniper rifle with iron sights, SVD style, and just
with the Dragunov one.
Dragunov, yeah.
Yeah, is that the SVD?
Yeah, the SVD is
took the iron sights. Beasted.
Really?
As like an FAL kind of thing.
I had thought about that.
I love that.
I had thought about that, but like the one thing I didn't like is the mobility issues. There's not very high mobility with these sniper rifles. So you totally could, and if you zero in on how to do it, and you have good connections, so you can beat out the other players.
I was doing it pretty well. It was great.
But
I even tried it with the bolt action one. I got destroyed. But I just did it for the
the bolt action one. I really like the bolt action.
I couldn't stand it.
It's really reminiscent of the well, not so much the intervention, but the L96, which I like. But this is what made me mad about the bolt action. They did not. First off, it's broken, and they did not fix it during the beta. That made me very, very angry. This is straight pull bolt, which is basically in the Call of Duty series. If you have a bolt action rifle, if you're scoped in, you can still stay scoped in and rechamber around. They have a straight pull bolt. Others, if you don't have a straight pull bolt, you kind of cock it up like that.
You have to like cock it up back and like that. Yeah.
It's an extra step, and to do that in Battlefield, you have to scope out, so you'll lose your target because you're so, especially if you're further out, you'll lose your target in that, and it takes more time. But they do have an attachment called the straight pull bolt, so you can stay zoomed in. The problem is, it was broken and you could not stay zoomed in. It forced you to go back out, and it still was acting as if you didn't have it on. And throughout all the time that the Battlefield beta was out, they did not fix it. That made me very upset. Up to the last day, they did not fix the straight pull bolt.
Well, maybe that's just one of the things that hopefully will get fixed by the time it comes out.
It better get fixed. It's a friggin' attachment.
Yeah, and when attachments don't do what they're supposed to,
your game is defective. And you ruin your game experience.
Yeah.
It's totally bad. So,
although there was, when I first started...
Oh, let's just clear the air and get this out of the way. The knifing still sucks, and as a matter of fact, it's even worse.
You think it's worse?
I think it's worse, dude.
I think it's a little bit better. I still don't use it, but...
I can't use it. The only time I use it is when I sneak up behind a dude and he's laying prone. But even then I don't like using it because it leaves me open, because I had to go through this whole stupid retardo ninja thing, which makes me angry. But yeah, and like there's this weird thing where you can keep your knife out and run around.
Well, if you're going to knife multiple people at the same time, I don't know.
I don't like it, and it gets stuck, and it takes more time away from me because then I have to waste time switching back to my primary weapon.
Yeah, knifing was never a thing I did in Battlefield.
I didn't like the knifing.
But so overall favorite class?
Sniper. Recon.
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 For me, it had to be the They used to call it in Battlefield 2 the medic, but now it's the support because it does, medic and ammo and, anything that supports the team. Because the LMGs...
Which is very weird because now they gave the medic part of it to the assault class. And they gave what would be the assault class, which is the ammo, so you can keep going, to the support class.
But in a sense, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, it does. It does, because that way you can keep supporting mid to long range with the LMG, driving down, clearing a path. While your assault buddies still have ammo to keep pressing the enemy and healing.
But also, think about it. When you run assault, you're going to be running and rushing people, so you're going to get damaged more. So you're going to need medic. When you run LMG, this is something my favorite overall feature about Battlefield 3. You ever wonder?
Do they have a scope on it?
You could get a scope on the LMGs.
Well, let me rephrase that. A ballistic scope, one that blacks out like that.
Yes, you could get one. Yes. But it's just an option.
With the bipod, it's totally an option.
You totally took what I was going to say. Favorite overall feature. You ever wonder while you're holding a gun, you have that little bipod, why you can't use it?
In Call of Duty series?
Battlefield 3 fixes it. First you start out, I had the RPK, and there's a bipod chilling there.
And you can use it.
You can use it. If you're in front of a table, and I zoom in, it goes...
Or if you're prone.
Or prone, it just goes... And then you're basically camped up here as a stationary machine gun.
MG, yeah.
Your accuracy is severely increased, and there's no recoil. There's no recoil. It's beautiful.
Awesome. And dude, that's
gorgeous.
I actually did that one time while I was in the tunnel in Operation Metro.
Yes. Oh.
There was like a locker room, and people always run through there trying to stay out of the big train track area. They'll go through the building. So what I did was someone had blown out the locker, so I had a clear view. So I just went prone, stationed up, and as soon as I saw anyone, even if it was a teammate, I just sprayed just to make sure. Wiped out tons of people. That was my only.
And then
LMG, though.
I first did it laying down, and I was like, that's really cool. So then I took it a step further. What if there's a block or something in front of me, and I'm just standing up?
It works.
Could I do it still?
Go prone.
You can. You can just sit there.
Crouched.
You can crouch and just aim down on any surface that's in front of you.
It's great.
Beautiful, beautiful addition. I'm going to fall in love with that class.
Okay, so for the 4 classes, which are Assault, the CQB one, I forget what it's called.
Engineer.
Engineer.
Oh, Engineer is beautiful. I didn't play it though, but in Battlefield Bad Company 2.
You play some Engineer.
So
for Assault, Engineer, Support, and Recon. Recon, love everything about it, though they do need to fix the equipment a little bit more. The mobile spawn point units work fine.
That's pretty cool, the mobile spawn
motion
points.
sensor thing needs to be fixed. I don't understand how to use it either. LMGs, the only thing I really liked about them the support class was the ammo, obviously, for obvious reasons, was decent enough. And the bipods on the LMG option was great. For the engineer class, obviously the engineer thing with the blowtorch thing is cool, and I liked some of the SMGs were nice. I didn't really use the rockets actually.
Oh.
The only thing I did use them for though was taking out cover so you could see the
That's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for, so you could see the attackers as
and also when vehicles are added, they can be great anti-vehicle weapons.
Yeah, totally, with C4
tanks and
just sabotaging, which would be great. And for the assault rifle class, I can't say that I really liked any of them. I didn't play it too much, but my favorite part about that, really, honestly, the defibrillator.
Oh, I
used the defibrillator a lot actually later on in the beta. I used the defib and the health packs. So that's what I did. So that's Battlefield 3 beta. If they are able to fix those problems, totally a must buy. If not, rent at the best.
Gamefly?
If for some reason they make it worse, avoid. Obviously.
Right, but it may be, it's one of those games that it's either for you or not for you. So you would want to, I wouldn't go out and spend 60, 70
just so we can quiet any trolls, we didn't mention any of the glitching through the floor thing because it's a beta, people. It's gonna be glitchy.
But there is.
You're gonna fall through the map. Deal with it.
But there is a great glitch that we all notice, and it's when you're just chilling, going out and trying to get points. You'll notice dead bodies just kind of.
Oh, yeah, just kind of like
they just kind of move.
They float down the stream with ants.
Yeah, it's like they're being carried by an army of little ants, and it just.
That was pretty funny.
It was kind of annoying because you're like, oh my god, someone's moving, and
yes.
but that was just my funny glitch.
It was fun.
That was great.